Welcome to this episode of Disrupt Education. I got Gil Lemar. We are in Oak Park, man. Good to see you.
It's great to see you, man.
Yeah, man. So you are just finishing up a year at Regis University.
Yep. University, accounting major, first year there.
Tell us a little bit about that, man. What was that transition from high school into that like for you?
It definitely wasn't an easy transition. There was, a lot of things I had to kind of figure out just being on my own, dealing with so much more going on while being there. But throughout the year, you learn everything here and there, day by day. You learn the small little things that make everything you do so much easier. Just little tips and tricks of studying and stuff like that. But by the end of the year, it was going smooth. I loved it. It was wonderful.
How is it different? How is it different from high school? So you have high school pretty structured, and then you go off.
Yeah,
what does that look like?
Just way less structure, which for me personally, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But there are structures in certain ways, and you kind of have to figure that out. And just, I think the biggest thing is, managing your time in a much better way. Taking things into your own hands. You're not going to have that background when you do in high school of people you're kind of falling behind, or you're not doing this. If you're thinking you're falling behind, you have to take that into your own hands and reach out and talk to the professors yourselves, because they aren't going to do that. And everything that you do there is you have to make yourself. You have to do it yourself. What
are some strategies that you use, transferring into that environment? Building your network of people. You did join the rugby team and do some of that. Tell us about how that worked into actually helping you kind of network and work with people on structuring your own time.
Well, right off the bat, I joined the rugby team there. It wasn't something I was expecting, but by the end of the first week there, I was part of the team. So that was a bit of a twist, but it ended up being just a great decision overall. I met a ton of amazing people. And from there I met even more people, just from friends of friends and stuff like that. And I met a lot of people who kind of were able to give me some guidance in some ways, help me with studying, help me plan my schedules not plan my schedule, I should say, but manage my time better and stuff like that, in ways I just hadn't done before, in ways I never really knew of before. To where by the end of the year, I was able to handle the workload and be totally on top of everything and never forget anything. And it was a learning process, but you figure it out.
I think we talked a little bit about, I'm going to talk about the bus ride to Nebraska, right? So when you jumped in, tell us a little bit about that story. So not knowing anything about rugby, you got invited to kind of a gathering, okay, you're going to be on the team, and knew nothing, and then all of a sudden you're in a game. What was that like? Walk us through that bus ride.
So I got to the school on this Thursday, and by Saturday I had agreed to join the team. I had my first practice on Monday. I had another practice on Thursday, and then on Friday we were, instead of practice, we were on an 8-hour bus ride to Nebraska to play the Cornhuskers in a little friendly game preseason. And I didn't know anything about rugby. I had never held a rugby ball before my first practice on Monday. I had never watched rugby. I had no clue anything about it. So the entire bus ride, I sat next to the coach in the first row, and I was just fired off questions for 8 hours. anything came in my head. Can you do this? Can you do this? So can you tackle this way? Okay, well, what if you tackle this way? And just trying to learn every little bit of the rules I could. And then I ended up being thrown into the game for a majority of the game, and I actually played a little bit decently. Yeah. So it was a great experience. It was a ton of fun.
So that learning moment, throwing you in, I guess a lot of people call that throwing you to the wolves, right? What was that like for you? I would have been thrown up on the bus, man. Nervous, but from that game forward, how was your pacing of learning in rugby? Was it really fast then because you were involved in it?
Well, for rugby, I felt like every time I stepped on the field and played, I learned a lot more. Every time, even if I was just playing maybe the final 10 minutes or I played the full game, I would learn. I just felt like every time I'd leave the game and step off, the game was faster for me. So next time I got on, I'd know more. I was quicker processing everything. because I learned the rules really early on, but a lot of it is just having the IQ of like playing the game.
Right.
Okay, so someone's going to do this when they get this. Well, it's like, okay, well, you want to know what they're going to do that before they get it.
Right.
And just positioning and a lot of stuff like that, where you just kind of have to learn the pace of the game. And once you start being able to predict things better, it just gets a heck of a lot easier.
So going back into your high school realm, because I had you in class, and we actually kept in contact through high school, and then in through college. Would you say you're like a tangible learner? Somebody who, like, when you're in the game, like you're playing this thing and you're learning faster?
Oh yeah, no. Anything hands-on for me, it helps a lot. I'm not someone who can. If you're just telling me things, it's not going to be as much. Like, I won't learn as quickly. But throw me to the wolves.
Yeah.
Have my back against the wall. I'll pick it up, and that's honestly my preferred way of learning. Is just kind of throw me out there. I'll figure it out. They'll do it. I'll make my mistakes, and then can keep going from there. Correct.
What does it look like in high school? What did Gil Lemar's high school look like? Your journey through high school, and was it different than what you would call a typical student?
I mean, Gil Lemar's journey through high school was a very bumpy journey. There was, my grades weren't good. I definitely wasn't the optimal student, what you'd want from a student. And I kind of just, coasted through. My first year went pretty well, but my sophomore year and my junior year weren't too great. I joined the football team my senior year, which was a great decision. And my senior year went a little bit better. It was a little bit smoother, just academically, mainly because the football I had to keep above a certain grade. But the main thing was, after high school, just having that fresh start, going into Triton, and because by the end of high school, it was like, I wanted to do well, but there was a lot of things. It's like, well, there's how much can I really do at this point?
Right.
Really, like, moving forward, I kind of just I needed that clean start, and Triton gave that to me, and from there things have been great.
Yeah. So if you could go back into a high school realm and change something in a traditional system, because I think it was interesting you just said that, I wasn't the greatest student or what a student should be doing. I don't know if that's always right. And that's what disrupt education is about. Like, I'm not that's this type of student. And I think there's a lot more that are this type, creatives or learn differently. I don't think the system is set up. Would there be something that would allow you maybe that fresh start earlier, or that cleanse of, okay, I'm gonna go into this route and not worry about what happened in a high school?
I mean, definitely high school, the structure of high school, it wasn't suited to me. It wasn't suited to how I learn. It didn't interest me. And, there's something, you kind of have to claw my attention a little bit for something to really get me into it. And high school wasn't that. You sit there for 6 hours a day going through your general classes that, you don't really care too much about. And you're just kind of like, oh man, I can't wait for college. And, but, I mean, it wasn't like it was all for nothing. I had some amazing classes there, like the classes I took with you, some of my graphic design classes that allowed me to be more hands-on, allowed me to actually kind of do things and make mistakes and learn from it. And the teachers who let that happen, as opposed to going a one-dimensional straight from the textbook, kind of led a more fluid learning environment. And I think was the issue with a lot of classes. A lot of it's straight from textbook to ears, just regurgitate everything you read from your textbook, and that's that. And when you take a class with a teacher who wants a more fluid learning environment and lets you kind of learn how you want to learn, gives you different routes to learn the material, and just makes everything interesting and fun and hands-on, that's where I think high school needs to start going towards. And I think you'll have just the student, I think just the participation and the interest in classes will just be a lot better.
Right.
No one wants to really sit there and just be read from a textbook for 6 hours. They
Right.
want to be doing things and learning and making mistakes and learning from them.
What's next for Gil?
What's next for Gil is to continue college, continue at Regis, continue with rugby, keep improving myself academically, and as a person. and just like, just continue. Things I've been following just what I want to do, and it's worked out, and that's just what I'm going to keep doing, whatever just feels right.
Awesome. Accounting going to be it, or are you going to go beyond it? Or do you not know?
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Like some people think, okay, this is where I'm going to go right now. What is it about accounting that you're interested in? I would have never picked you as an accountant.
It's so funny because I don't even like math.
Yeah.
It's kind of enjoyable. You do it and it feels like solving a puzzle, and you fill out a balance sheet and you're like, oh hey, everything matched up, and you're like, oh, it's fun. It's it's something I'm good at. It's enjoyable. There's been thoughts of changing my major to different things, but I think at the end of the day, accounting just seems right. I think I'll probably continue with that. Try and go for the CPA,
Right.
and from there, I don't know career-wise much, but we'll see.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we appreciate having. Thanks for inviting me out to
I'm
Oak
so
Park,
happy
man.
about you. Thank you.
Couple of disruptors here. We'll watch Gil grow, and we'll see you next time on Disrupt Education.